congrats on Chosen Family. Thought it was
Thank you. Thank you. I'm pretty amazing in it. Thank you.
Yes, of course. You took the words right out of my mouth.
I assumed you were going to say that. That's why I just jumped ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm?
So you're co-starring alongside the wonderful Heather Graham, who is also
Hmm?
the director. So I was love to hear from you what that was like, having her.
So this is I'm lucky enough now to be in two of Heather's movies. The first one was called Half Magic, which if you haven't seen it, also a hilarious movie. And uh it was interesting. So that for the first Heather movie I just auditioned for, I auditioned for her, and she was so much more pleasant than I even imagined she would be. She's a good laugher, really loves comedy, and she likes to laugh. And so sort of immediately I was like, oh, she just has a great sense of humor, and like this will be a fun person to do stuff with. And that movie proved to be exactly that, which was a super fun movie to be in. There was lots of times to like sort of improvise, and I actually don't like always love to like improvise in movies because it's like you often don't have to. It's like you don't have to improvise in everything. But in her movie, she's very supportive of like letting sort of odd little moments happen. She's just a funny person. So it's like it's fun to be in scenes with someone who appreciates funny things is really, I guess, the easiest way. And she's as a director, it's honestly very casual. I don't know if she's given me like tons of direction, but neither does Christopher Nolan or Clint Eastwood. It's like that's generally if you're there at the movie, it's sort of assumed that you're probably going to do it pretty close to well, you know, like pretty much out of the gate. Um, but yeah, it's a very easy directing process. It's a lot of fun. The movies like look beautiful and are fun. Like, it's also nice to be at a time when there's so many mega budget things that exist, like every streaming series is like the cost of an aircraft carrier. It's like sometimes it's nice to be in a movie like this, that's like the cost of there are definitely cars that exist that cost
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. And yeah, I mean, I spoke to Heather during, her last movie, Place of Bones, when it came out. She's just lovely. So
Oh, the
yeah, I
best.
was
One of the
really
best.
looking
That's,
forward
I
to
mean,
it.
yeah, that's the other thing. She's the kind of like it's fun to make movies with her. Yeah.
Of course. And uh, I was curious if the the story of Chosen Family maybe struck a nerve with you at any point, like when you were reading the script based on your own family or whatever. You were like, "Oh, this kind of happened to me," or I don't know, in some
Well,
form or another.
for sure, I'm definitely in. I do have a pretty obvious chosen family that I've been a part of for a super long time, which is my comedy group, The State. And we're basically still on tour now. Um, but we met. I've honestly spent more time with my comedy group in my adult life than I have with my literal family, except for my sister, who who also just happened to marry into my work family and of the state. But so like Carrie and I, who do Reno 911 together, Carrie and I met at theater camp at Northwestern in 1986 or 87. So we met at 16 years old, and we're writing a new show for Fox right now. So in 2024, so it's like definitely it strikes a chord with me. The people that you pick and you're around, and it's not just like Carrie from the state, but like Ken Marino and David Wayne, and now all of our kids spend time together. So it's yeah, for sure it definitely strikes a chord with me because my chosen family ended up being you know people I spend time with more than my literal family. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, of course. Yeah, makes sense. And on that note, I have to ask if there's ever talk of another sort of Reno 911 reunion. I
I,
absolutely
I
adore that show and
I
the
can't
movies and everything.
imagine we wouldn't do more Reno 911s. One, because we already have all the outfits, which is basically the hardest part is like, where are all the outfits? And we have them. And you just got to put Nick Swartzen on roller skates. It's really not that, that much heavy lifting. You can tell that we don't really overthink it when we do it. Um, if anything, we really underthink it quite a bit. But what's neat to me to see is that, and this is a little bit true of The State, a show that we did, somewhat true of Viva Variety, our middle comedy show that we did, which is because, we never really reference like politics. We never really reference time, like Reno 911 in some ways lives like The Simpsons, which is the characters never grow up, they never mature, they never get better, they never learn anything. Like every Reno 911 starts exactly at zero again, which is one of the fun things about it. Like no one's ever like, we never think about like, well, would this character have changed so deeply by this incredible traumatic thing that no, we literally are a cartoon. We're animated characters, except we're alive. And, so that's what's fun. And like Reno 911 is almost like has a touch of an Obi-Wan Kenobi kind of show because it actually got more popular. We got canceled after season 6. When the show was doing great in the ratings. It literally never dipped in actual TV ratings ever. And then, it just still like, I'll still get memes of things from Reno 911. Or sometimes people will send us a clip and say, you should do something like this on Reno 911. And I'll say, that is a clip from Reno 911. Like the pullover where Cedric is doing a dance with Wendy with the hitch kick and stuff. People will be like, oh, Reno should do that. It's like, that is a Reno clip. The clip, we all think we won the lottery clip usually goes into rotation once every 18 months in a pretty big way, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I like the one. I think it's from the movie where he wakes up. So, well, I just had the craziest dream. You're driving.
No, you're driving, right? Little bit of backstory on that. We were told by the stunt team to hit that porta potty at about 20 to 25 miles an hour, and we hit it at 55 to 60 miles an hour. So the windshield is not supposed to explode like that.
Oh,
It was
wow.
supposed to get all the blue stuff on us because there's an explosive in that porta potty that's gonna, spray all the blue stuff all over us when we hit it. But we hit it about 2.5 times faster than we should have. Everyone was very stressed out. There's a lot of car crashes in the Reno 911 movie, the first Reno 911 movie, and every one of them is real. And I'm not driving for,
Oh my God.
it's way worse to be doing like car crashes when you're in the passenger seat.
Oh, yeah.
Because I assure you, my foot is every time just like slamming on the thing, like, oh my God, please let's stop.
Yeah,
But,
right.
but they all turned out funny.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Live to
We're
tell
still
it.
here and they all turned out pretty funny.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, last question. I have to ask, you voiced all these wonderful, hilarious characters. Is there one that's been your favorite to voice in all these projects, animated projects you've done?
Deep cut voice, and no one will people very seldom even notice it's me because it doesn't come up that much, but it's in the movie like maybe 3 or 4 times. But I am the voice of Eddie the shipboard computer, the voice of the Heart of Gold in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And secretly I really love that one, I gotta say. Like I'm really proud of I think my son was a little kind of blown away when the movie, because I'd given him all the Hitchhiker's book. I'm a massive Douglas Adams fan. I'm obsessed. He's just, I think, probably the funniest person who's ever lived. And so my son, when it came on and I was the voice of the ship, he enjoys that one quite a bit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you, Thomas. That's all the time I have. It was very nice to meet you, and congratulations again on Chosen Family.